Hello, everybody. Welcome to the REITE News. Hi, Sarah.
Hi, how are you?
Good, and you?
Good, good. There's not as much sun as there was yesterday, but I'm up at the cottage till mid-July, so I'm enjoying.
So you're living the dream.
Oh, sorry, you just cut out there. What were you saying?
Oh, so you're living the dream.
I am, yes.
So how were you able to afford this? Like just spend the summer and enjoy the cottage? I think that's what we want to talk about more now in the REITE News is how investors are achieving their dreams and their goals. And I think yours was to retire at the cottage.
Yeah, it was to retire while I still was young and healthy and had time on my side. So I plugged away, figured out how to do it, bought a property at a time, and I think it's been 8 years now. 8 years later, October 2020 was the R day, day. But so did you. So did you. How did you do it?
Yeah, so for me as well, kind of like you, I bought one property after the next, but I'm still working a little bit, so I need to work on my plans as well, how to be more at the cottage and relaxing. But yeah, you buy one place, and then I actually hosted a podcast last night, and my guest was saying that, kind of like you, she bought one place, then the next one, and the following, and that's how she managed her cash flow. So she was able to generate enough income to replace her job. So did you do that as well? Like plan, I guess, your cash flow and
plan the cash flow, and then also before I left, I planned all the refinances because it's also a lot easier, to refinance when you have a T4 income. And the cash flow, it's really actually about planning it all the way around, right? And so all the properties that I bought, yes, they've done well in appreciation. That's great, and mortgage pay down, but they all cash flowed. And I think one of the things as well, like you don't have to have hundreds of properties for this to work. Like for me, I didn't bring in JVs, right? And so it was Matt and I on them, and I think that helped obviously because we can, we don't have to scale as much for the same amount of cash flow. However, one of the things that I think helped a lot is the fact that my tenants that I was picking along the way, I was, looking for ones that were not going to be lifers, so I can reboost the rents back to market once they leave. Wasn't always like that, but over time it became that way. And then I started really doing the short-term, mid-term. And so half my rental units are that short-term, mid-term, where, the cash flow is even more significant than the other long-term ones I have. So I think it was a combination of that, then figuring out what I needed to live comfortably. And then it was a matter of, like, I thought, with working full-time and we do real estate to be able to live a lifestyle of our choice. And so at some point we got to make a decision, pull the trigger, right? So
exactly. And this is a great segue into tonight's event. So you mentioned short-term, mid-term rentals. That's exactly the topic we're going to be covering tonight. So it's a great way. And I'm experimenting with that as well in my own properties. So some of them, I found some apartments were harder to rent. Maybe it's like on the third floor. There's something quirky about it. Why not turn it into an opportunity and actually rent it out short-term? And then it's crazy. Instead of something it was hard to rent and you had lots of turnover, now you actually get much higher rent for a small unit. So an awesome strategy.
Yeah, I mean, I have somebody checking into my bottom floor unit in Burlington, and it was like 2 weeks. It's $2,000, but that basement unit, if I was to rent it long term, just for those 2 weeks, and I mean, it's and my top unit's basically rented until September right now. And the bottom unit will get rented, but just maybe more on the 2 week, 3 week, month time frame. But I have a lot of people renting the top for like 1 to 3 months at a time in between houses. You get a great tenant. But just to give you an idea, for those 2 weeks at $2,000, that basement unit, I maybe would get, I don't know, $1,700 a month, right? And then there's still a whole 2 weeks left. So to me, it's worth it. But let's go back to your same question. Like, how did you end up leaving, and what was the circumstances around it?
Yeah, so I did things a bit differently. So yes, I planned for cash flow and things, but I also planned to reduce my expenses. So I'm really big right now on minimalism and getting rid of things, including bills and expenses I don't need. So and possessions. So it's been really liberating the past since November. So 7 months or so, I've just been giving away stuff, selling things, and reducing, cost of living. So I'm gonna be house hacking. I've got all kinds of plans. So it's really, that's how I managed to do it. So you did it in more like 7 or 8 years. For me, it's more around 10 months or so of planning. So I had to do something to reduce and collapse time. And one of them was reducing expenses and focusing on what I really need and want. And the same, I think, applies to investing. So do you really want these properties? Because it can be a long-term commitment. You could buy something, it's awesome, and then you're kind of stuck with it. So be careful what you ask for.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Absolutely. And I'm excited about tonight's event. Starts at 7 p.m. And we are, like you said, talking about that short to medium term rental. And we've got some great speakers, great lineup. I mean, I know you started dabbling in that, right? You were saying in the short to midterm rental options, and it sounds like you've been doing well with it as well. But you know, it's a good way to boost the cash flow, and it's a good way to get around the RTA or for whatever province you're in, if it's very pro tenants, and you're wondering, should you rent long term and potentially risk having it take 12 months to get a non-paying tenant out? Well, I mean, I would rather do the midterm, where I would, it's still a risk, but I know that they've got a house that they've either bought and they're in between, like the next person that's checking in. So the current people, they actually have a house in Vancouver, just to give you an idea. They have a house in Vancouver. They wanted their kids to finish school here. And so they're leaving basically at the very, very end of June. The next person's staying for about 2.5 to 3 months. And they are waiting for their new construction to be built. So these are people that, have, a plan.
Yeah.
And you can actually look at their prior Airbnb reviews as well, just to see what they've had. So, could it backfire and they say, nope, I'm not leaving? It could, but if they're not leaving at $3,500 for my upper unit, or, whatever it is, $3,000 a month for my bottom one, I'm okay as long as they keep paying.
That's it. Exactly. We have, so Nevin said hi, Sarah. I hope you're doing well.
Nevin.
So is he one of your students in the Burr Freedom community, or?
I think Nevin is. I know two Nevins, so I don't know which Nevin this is. I'm guessing it's Nevin, my student. I have a Nevin, a friend from a colleague from back in the day at Cintas. So it could be either of the Nevins.
From try Dev, it says. So
yeah, I think it's Nevin, my students.
Okay, awesome. Yes, awesome. He says yes. So perfect.
Very cool.
So yeah, living the dream. Do you want to live like Sarah at the cottage for the summer and learn how to invest in real estate? So tonight's event, make sure to register at thereiteclub.com. I put the website there in the ticker, and it's just amazing. We have a great lineup, and make sure to visit our website. So Sarah, it's exciting. The forums.
I just want to show this view.
Oh.
I can't do the podcast from here, but I do most of my other calls.
Nice. Wow.
It's not horrible. But anyways, I just thought I'd share this with you guys, and I'll tell you, it doesn't take 20 years. It can, it took us, I think in our 5th year we bought this cottage, 4th or 5th year of doing real estate.
Wow. That's amazing. And I know you're shopping for more, so I don't know if you've been
successful. We're putting in an offer that's going in at 11 today. So
ooh, nice.
Wish us luck. I mean, the market out here is nuts. So I mean, I'm guessing there's gonna be 10 offers. We'll see. I have a voicemail from my realtor to check, because we are putting in an offer. It is above asking, because that's how it works out here. But yeah. I think that we'll see. Cross our fingers and hope we get it. Otherwise, move on to the next. I mean, you don't get anything without making a bunch of offers, right?
No, that's it. And it's surprising. I'm keeping an eye on a property in Ottawa, and I thought it would go like bully offer and everything, and actually almost no showings, no interest. I don't know what's going on. So hopefully the same applies to your cottage. no one else is interested and you get it. So
yeah, for sure. Hey, Francois, can you let us know the link for tonight to register for the mid and short-term rentals?
Yes, it's thereightclub.com/events, and you can sign up there for free. An amazing event. Tune in from the comfort of your house or your deck. Since the weather's nice, you can put your laptop outside if you have good Wi-Fi and enjoy some great conversations on how to afford more of this lifestyle and live the dream.
Awesome. So, all right.
We'll see you tonight, Sarah.
See you tonight. Bye guys.